So I walked into Wingstop the other day and ordered some wings, and I was very disappointed. They were soggy, dry, and lacked flavor. I'm going to show you the wing recipe that changed my life. You should never pay for crappy wings again. Today we're going to be making 3 different types of wings with a delicious dipping sauce to go with. This is perfect for your upcoming Super Bowl parties. Now to start off, we obviously have to get our wings. I'm going to teach you how to break them down easily without cutting yourself. This is super simple and everyone should know how to do it. First, you're going to start off by removing the wing tip from the flat. You're going to cut a little slit, crack the cartilage, and then cut through where you just opened it up. You're going to do the same thing to the drum and flat. Just make sure that you're only cutting through cartilage. You don't want shards of bones in your food. So repeat this with all of your chicken wings. I did about a dozen wings. It'll end up being 30 wings total because obviously it's broken up into 2 parts, flats and drums. The wing tips you can save for stock or something like that. You're going to throw that into a bowl and we're going to cover the entire thing in pickle juice. Now, if you've never done this before, it's basically a brine to tenderize and flavor the wings. This is essential and it will leave you with tender and juicy wings, so you cannot skip this step. Make sure that everything's nice and submerged, and then we're going to put it in the fridge for a minimum of 1 hour and up to 24 hours. I ended up leaving it overnight. With that said, it's time to start working on our sauces. We're starting off with our honey barbecue sauce. You're going to get yourself a sauce pot with ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, as well as soy sauce. Obviously, the ketchup is the base, and that's standard with most barbecue sauces, but I like to add the Worcestershire and soy sauce for a nice umami, salty flavor. We're also going to add in our spice mixture of chili powder, garlic powder, and black pepper, followed by a whole lot of honey. Like I said, it's a honey barbecue sauce. This is our sweetness. So stir that, whisk it up well, and then I almost forgot we have to add in a touch of apple cider vinegar for a little more tangy flavor. Mix that well and let that simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. It should end up with this nice dark, deep color, and it will be nice and tacky for our wings. Now it's time to move on to our second flavor, which is lemon pepper. We're going to get 1 cup of salted butter, followed by half a lemon. You're going to squeeze the juice out and set the zest aside for later. We're also going to add in a little bit of garlic powder for flavor. And call it cheating, I don't care. I'm using a little bit of pre-made lemon pepper seasoning, red chili flakes, black pepper of course, and a touch of honey. Now this isn't necessarily a sweet sauce, so don't go overboard on that honey. Give it a nice whisk, and I almost forgot to add in the lemon zest, so you should do that now. You'll see that the sauce actually thickens up because of the butter. That's totally fine. You're going to want to warm it up before you put it on the wings though. Once you're done with this, you are ready to move on to our final sauce, and that is classic buffalo. We're going to start off with butter, same thing as last time, followed by a nice vinegar-based hot sauce. I'm using Red Rooster, but you could use whatever you'd like. Next, we're going to add in some chili flakes for heat, black pepper, a little bit of chili powder, and then garlic powder, of course. Whisk that up and your buffalo sauce is done. This is a super simple recipe, guys. You have to make it. And like the lemon pepper, this does thicken up, so make sure you warm it up before you sauce your wings. It just makes it a whole lot easier. With that said, we're going to move on to our oil. I'm using canola today, but you could use whatever neutral oil you'd like. Just make sure it's a high smoke point. And as you saw here, I had to move to a larger pot. We're going to get that up to temp, 375 degrees. While we're waiting for that, we are going to bread our wings. We just removed them from the pickle brine. Let's dry off any excess moisture to start. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get as much as you can off the wings. Now we're going to move on to our flour dredge. We're starting off with all-purpose flour, followed by a little bit of baking powder. Don't use too much or it will be bitter. We're using black pepper, garlic powder, a touch of chili powder, and then a little bit of kosher salt. Whisk that up, and then your dredge is done. Now that baking powder is very important. It adds a nice crispy element to the wings, so do not skip it. Throw your wings into your dredge, and then we're going to toss in a little of that extra juice too. This creates some nice little craggly bits of flour that get real crispy in the fryer, so make sure to do that as well. Give that a toss, make sure everything's coated. You do not want any spots that are underfloured. As you can see here, I'm showing you the craggly bits that I was talking about earlier. They kind of stick to the surface of the wings, and they give this nice texture. It's real crispy, better than anything you'll find at any restaurants, I'll tell you that much. All right, moving on. Let's drop them into our oil. It has reached 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to cook our wings for about 5 to 10 minutes or until they reach 170 degrees Fahrenheit. It just depends on how many wings you put in at a time. Make sure to fry them in batches. While we're waiting for that, we're going to make our dipping sauce. It's very quick. We're using sour cream, cream cheese, black pepper, a little bit of pickle juice, garlic powder, chili powder, and a bit of milk. We're going to give that a quick whisk. Keep in mind, this is just the base to the sauce. This is the standard recipe, but you can add things to it as well. I chose to add a few more things. You don't have to do these, but I added a bit of red Rooster Hot Sauce, whisk that in well, and then also decided to add some green onions as well as a few dill pickles. Chop those up nice and fine though. You don't want a huge chunk of onion or pickle in each bite. Once you've added those in, you can give it a nice whisk. And like I said, guys, I emphasize it. You don't have to add these in. It doesn't make or break the sauce. I just think it's a nice addition. The pickles add a nice tanginess and the onions add a nice pungency. Once you're done with your sauce, you can set it aside in the fridge to chill for a few minutes, and by that time, your wings should be done. We're going to place these in a large bowl. This helps with the saucing process. That way we can toss them. Oh, and one important thing. I did this off camera, guys, but make sure you check the internal temperature of your chicken. You don't want to mess with raw chicken. It should be 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Now to the saucing. We're starting off with our barbecue sauce. Give your wings a nice toss and swirl, and look at that sauce. It should be nice and thick and tacky. This sauce looks amazing, guys. Now we're going to move on to our next sauce, which is the lemon pepper. And remember, with the lemon pepper and the buffalo sauce, you're going to want to warm the sauces up before you add them to the wings. It just makes it a lot easier to work with. Give it a toss just like you did with the barbecue. Same thing goes for the buffalo. There's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no wrong or right answer. The only thing I will say is that you have to eat these wings as soon as you sauce them. They're fantastic when they're hot and fresh. These are amazing. Just look at them. These are perfect for your upcoming Super Bowl parties, and I guarantee you'll have no leftovers. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the taste test. Time to dig in. All right, guys, let's try it out. That is by far the best wing I've ever had. You guys have to try out these wings and these sauces. They're so easy to make, and they cost half the price of any wing place. Don't settle for soggy, dry wings. Make them yourself. Make them better. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.